Hello, and thank you so much for joining us on this edition of McAllen News Update. I'm Leah Yades.
And I'm Roy Cantu. The McAllen Fire Department hosted a pushback ceremony to officially place a new fire truck into service at the McAllen International Bridge. The McAllen firefighters and city leaders conducted the traditional pushback ceremony to officially place this new apparatus in service. The tradition dates back to the late 1800s, when fire departments used horses to pull the fire apparatus to fires. After fighting the fire, the crews would wash and ready the horses and the apparatus in the preparation for the next call. Then they would push back the apparatus into the station's bay.
Our airport is one of the most important and integral parts of our city. It has a lot to do with transportation, being able to move traffic, passengers, and it's part of quality of life. And so in order to ensure that their safety, we're required to have these kinds of apparatus. Not everybody's got them brand new like this thing. In fact, we've got two of them right next to it. But it's so important to ensure that the community knows that their safety is always top of mind. It is number one priority for us. And this type of equipment, I mean, this truck's over almost $1 million, one truck. And it says a lot about the commitment by the City Commission to ensure the prosperity of our airport.
Funding of the $856,000 brand new 1U apparatus truck came from the McAllen International Airport passenger facility fee. The apparatus truck is equipped with a 1,500 gallons onboard water tank and a high extendable reach turret or hurt piercing tip. The truck is also equipped with 2,000 gallons per minute water pump, foam concentration capacity of 210 gallons, and dry chemical fire suppression agent of 500 pounds.
The annual Emergency and Disaster Response Training Program, hosted by the City of McAllen and Hidalgo County, was held for almost 3,000 attendees. The 2023 South Texas All Hazard Conference took place on March 22nd and 23rd at the McAllen Performing Arts Center. This year's theme, Texas Strong, brought together federal, state, and local agencies as well as nonprofit organizations to receive emergency response training. The conference is open to those who respond to emergencies, including natural disasters and man-made events. The conference provided leaders, decision makers, healthcare clinicians, preparedness professionals, and first responders with opportunity for networking, resource sharing, scholarly exchange, and continuing education. Attendees received continuing education through the Texas A&M Engineering Extension Service, TEEX, and the Texas Department of State Health Services. Keynote speaker during the opening ceremony was retired New York Fire Department Lieutenant Joe Torello, who survived both towers crashing down on him on 9/11. His presentation was nothing short of inspirational, and he congratulated organizers for hosting the annual conference.
We're in a new world now. You know, we're in a world where we have to be very vigilant all the time, and we need to be proactive, again, in having prevention programs, but we also have to learn to react as quickly as we can to mitigate a situation.
The South Texas All Hazard Conference is the second largest training conference of its type in the state of Texas, and is the only conference offered at no charge.
The Texas Transit Association held a two-day training program in McAllen. Metro McAllen drivers and employees attended the state training program with other public transit system bus drivers and employees. According to TTA officials, the two-day training provided participants with tools and ideas and concepts to reach areas of the community that may be underrepresented in their ridership or employment and gain an understanding of barriers created to prevent equal access to their system they might not have noticed or thought about.
The McAllen Public Library hosted its second annual Family Community Health Fair. Improving access to preventative health care services, engaging citizens in care decisions, free health screenings such as blood pressure checks, BMI testing, and diabetes screening was offered at no cost in March for anyone who attended the Community Family Health Fair. Additionally, there were various fun fitness activities for families and children, including a bubble dance-a-thon, jump rope and hula hoops, inflatable slides, yoga, and arts and crafts activities. The Texas A&M AgriLife Extension also demonstrated cooking with spices and herbs for wellness. The event aims to promote health and wellness for all family members.
Also, for the 9th year in a row, the McAllen Public Library gets recognized for excellence. The McAllen City Commission recognized the McAllen Public Library staff at the regular City Commission meeting on Monday, March 27, for receiving the 2022 Achievement of Library Excellence Award from the Texas Municipal Library Directors Association, TMLDA. Each year, TMLDA confers awards for outstanding contributions to public libraries. According to TMLDA criteria to successfully receive the Achievement of Library Excellence Award, the applicant must exhibit excellence in providing services to underserved and special populations, in enhancing services, in marketing their programs and services in innovative ways, in promoting cultural, topical, and educational programming, in providing literacy support, in providing summer reading clubs, in pursuing collaborative efforts, in supporting workforce development, in providing for digital inclusion, and in comprehensively training staff. According to the Texas State Library Archives Commission, 550 public libraries exist in Texas. Of those libraries, only 73 received this award in 2022. The McAllen Public Utility held a ribbon-cutting ceremony at the McAllen Public Utility Water Pump Station in North McAllen. The McAllen Public Utility Board trustees, McAllen city leaders, and Hidalgo County Irrigation District 1 officials celebrated the completion of a water pump that will add redundancy to the water system in North McAllen.
The best part about it is gives us access to 4,000 acre feet of raw water to run through our plant. That means thousands of gallons more for our citizens. And this will ensure water delivery and sufficient capacity and sufficient supply to take us another 10 years down the road. And to have made this connection with Irrigation District Number 1, it completes the redundancy that we work for at every one of our facilities. We have two means to deliver water, District 1 and United. South Plant, we have District 2 and District 3. So these are the kinds of things that we look at so that we are more reliable.
The new water pump station will allow the plant to expand in the future to double its capacity. Hidalgo Irrigation District 1 will now be allowed to pump water to the water plant at 8313 North Benson Road.
McAllen wins for the 6th time in a row the It's Time Texas Community Challenge. But how did the city manage to keep its residents and its employees active and fit? Here's how. The City of McAllen Office of Communications teamed up with the Purchasing and Contracting Department to once again host an event for McAllen employees. The event composed of two 30-minute dance sessions that were broadcasted live here on MCN 1300 and its streaming platforms, including the City of McAllen YouTube channel. The dance party involved moving and cumbiaing to the beat provided by Purchasing Director DJ Jerry. Organizers hope to continue the lunch dance sessions throughout the year.
Thanks to funding raised at its annual fundraiser, Quinta Mazatlan and McAllen ISD partnered to plant a tiny forest at Cathy Middle School that will hopefully spread throughout the McAllen Independent School District. Here's the story. Thanks to the friends at Quinta Mazatlan, Cathy Middle School students made history by planting a tiny forest at their school campus, which was a partnership between the City of McAllen, the Friends of Quinta Mazatlan, and McAllen Independent School District. Over 2,000 native plants were planted at the tiny forest at Cathy Middle School, representing 34 species native to the Rio Grande Valley. Quinta Mazatlan invested $25,000 in educational curriculum around growing tiny forests and the many benefits of trees and plants. The money for the tiny forest was raised at last year's Moon Over Mazatlan, Quinta Mazatlan's annual fundraiser to encourage attendees to donate to the Tiny Forest program. Cathy Middle School 7th grader Christian Garza says he was invited to speak last year to encourage donors to give to the program.
This is essentially McAllen ISD's first tiny forest ever. This is very special, and they chose Cathy Middle School to be the campus that it's on. It's very groundbreaking. It was very expensive. Kids had a couple of kids, including myself and Gadiel Vargas, had to go to Quinta Mazatlan and give a speech there to help raise money.
This 25,000 tiny forest will be the model for the other 30 McAllen ISD campuses to also plant tiny forests across McAllen.
The City of McAllen, Quinta Mazatlan is so proud to partner with the McAllen ISD to launch this new initiative that we're calling Tiny Forests. And Cathy is the first recipient of this gift. We've also developed environmental curriculum around growing tiny forests and all of the benefits. We raised over $25,000, the Friends of Quinta Mazatlan, for this tiny forest, and it features over 2,000 native plants unique to our area that thrive in our weather. and over 35 native species are planted here today.
McAllen ISD Superintendent Dr. J.A. Gonzalez says one of the goals is to have a tiny forest at every campus in the district.
We're thrilled. We have a tremendous partnership with the city of McAllen, with Quinta Mazatlán. It's just going to take our educational program to the next level. So we're already a high-performing school district because we have great partnerships with the city, but this tiny forest is just going to take us to a whole different level. So very excited.
The city of McAllen is doubling its footprint at Quinta Mazatlán by creating a Center for Urban Ecology, or CUE, partnering with companies, conservation organizations, and educational partners to support the three initiatives: education, ecotourism, and the environment.
This is a great opportunity of what a public partnership is all about, with McAllen ISD and the city of McAllen partnering to do this amazing tiny forest. And we know that the benefits of plants and the benefits of trees, oxygen, shade, food, they clean our atmosphere. And this is great, because we always talk about increasing our green areas in the city of McAllen, and we're going to start with Kathy, today, and we expand in a way at Quinta Mazatlán.
McAllen ISD Board Trustee Daniel Vela, who also sits on the Friends of Quinta Mazatlán board, says the Tiny Forest Project started with an idea to educate more children by having hands-on learning programs.
We're getting ready to break ground on our CUE, which is the Center for Urban Ecology. It'll be a center for an unlimited amount of educational opportunities. Every kid that comes through Quinta and the whole program of Quinta learns about nature and how we need to preserve our nature, how it is good for us today and how it's going to be better for us in the future. Quinta's boundless in what we can help educate our kids with. And if they get hands-on, if they do what they're doing here today, planting trees, they get their hands into the project, if you will, it's something that stays with them for life. And that's one of the goals of education, is make sure whatever we teach them stays with them for life.
The city of McAllen, Friends of Quinta Mazatlán, and McAllen ISD officials are hoping the tiny forest will inspire students to continue to protect the environment and be leaders in conservation of the tiny forest in their neighborhoods and backyards. To help create the next tiny forest at McAllen ISD, please contact the Friends of Quinta Mazatlán at 956-681-3370 for donation opportunities.
Another tiny forest takes roots at the Palmview Community Center. McAllen's Quinta Mazatlán invited community residents to help plant another tiny forest that will help improve the environment and create a habitat for flora and fauna within 20 years. This initiative aims to improve the environment for residents and wildlife for a healthier future for generations to come. The community planted over 1,500 native plants, creating a future ecosystem. Colleen Hook, manager of Quinta Mazatlán, says that with time, this will become a real forest, a dense, diverse forest, and will be self-sustaining after a few years. The tiny forest is part of the Center of Urban Ecology's conservation initiatives.
A McAllen park gets a mini citrus grove thanks to a McAllen family and some volunteers. A group of 19 volunteers from T-Tech McAllen planted 16 citrus trees at Garcia Park. The project was made possible through a generous donation from T-Tech McAllen. Garcia Park is a tract of land that was donated by the late Aurelio Garcia Sr., who was a valley leader in farming and the citrus industry. During the planting, the Garcia family was on hand to see volunteers plant navel orange, grapefruit, valley lemons, and mandarin citrus trees in the park. This mini citrus orchard may be small, but they're hoping to remind everyone how important the citrus industry was for the Rio Grande Valley.
Rio Grande Valley High School Theater Awards announced their 25 nominations for the 2023 The Palms Awards. The event took place at the McAllen Performing Arts Center. This year, the awards will feature over 25 high schools from across the area, recognizing finalists in categories like Best Production, Best Actor, Actress in a Leading Role, Best Technical Crew, and Best Supporting Actor or Actress. The Palms also revealed a new award, the Michael Albus Legacy Award, honoring an individual who has dedicated their life to the development of the arts in the Rio Grande Valley. One community member who has made a huge impact in the arts was Gilbert Cepeda, co-founder of the Palms, who was named the inaugural recipient of the Michael Albus Legacy Award.
The city of McAllen is always looking for good candidates to join the team. In March, the Human Resources Department hosted their biannual hiring event at the McAllen Public Library. Several city departments were on hand interviewing candidates to fill vacancies, including full-time, part-time, and seasonal job openings.
We're always hiring and we're always wanting to have, people with a servant heart, but we usually try to have one in the spring and one in the fall. So our next one will probably be closer to maybe October or so.
If anyone missed the hiring event, don't worry. Look for great opportunities with the City of McAllen by searching for job openings and applying online at mcallen.net/jobs. For anyone who needs assistance or has questions, call the City of McAllen Human Resources Department at 956-681-1045.
For the past 6 years, the City of McAllen has been celebrating International Women's History Month. This year, McAllen hosted a series of events that recognize and honor the contributions of women to the city.
It's a way for us to recognize the triumphs that all of the women in our organization have gone through and that are going to have, in the future. We know that their future is bright. We hire the very, very best. And so this is a great day for us.
The event included a mayoral proclamation and a breakfast symposium featuring a panel discussion by female trailblazers. Carmen Pagan and Sally Guerra were this year's female trailblazers.
I am honored and humbled and really happy to be here, and hopefully I can help someone else in any small way.
I think they want to hear a little bit about our story, and so I'm excited to share that story and about my aha moments and how it came to be where I guess I am today, and try and inspire them not to give up.
Also part of the series was a speed mentoring session designed to give female employees an opportunity to network with the many female directors within the City of McAllen. The speed mentoring sessions allowed a series of short, focused conversations about specific professional questions.
There's several goals, I think. One of them is to raise awareness. Number one, that there are spaces here at the City of McAllen for females to be in leadership positions. So that was kind of what sparked this whole thing. But also that you kind of need to take a chance on yourself as well, and not put limits on yourself, and know that things are possible. So you may have dreamt or have a goal of doing that and think, well, I don't know if I can or if there's a space for me there, but there is. And so I think that's another one of the important goals of these programs that we have.
Mentees were able to gain multiple insights and perspectives on how to move in their careers.
We want to know how they started with everything, just because it's a long road ahead for me. I'm fairly young, new to all of this, so I really want to know how they started and what their experience is, bumps in the road, which we all understand, we all get. I want to know what's the first step they made or how they took it to give us that opportunity to grow.
That's going to do it for us here. Thank you so much for watching. For the City of McAllen, I'm Roy Cantu.
And I'm Leah Yades. See you next time.